dear friends, colleagues, professors, good afternoon everyone. I'm happy to be here. I'm also happy that I'm part of one of this World Summit, Innovation in Universities Education Models to Fuel Intensive Research and Creativity. Some of the strategy and some of this format all been known thing. I'll just skip it over all those things. There's no institution in India is found to be in top 200 world ranks. In spite of a large number of universities with millions of students enrollment, the research publication and patent filing is not up to the mark. Hence, there's a very urgent need to think of new education models to further fuel the creativity and research. Coming to the point. DNA of higher education. Clayton Christensen and Henry J. Eyring, they use here as a metaphor of like DNA. It refers to any class of nucleic acid that you all know, contains deoxyribose found chiefly in the nucleus of cells. And after thorough study of the nature of higher education, they have come to the conclusion that the present system must be revolutionized. What is the core to the DNA of a university? Research activities and the discovery of innovative strategies that will enhance the image of a college or a university. Progress towards high quality achievements. By this, I mean innovations, a sincere effort to get a breakthrough into new area of research. If a scholar who wants to pursue research studies only in order to get a degree, he will not be able to make any contribution to innovative knowledge or discovery. So all research conducted in universities must ultimately contribute to the enrichment of our knowledge, to the improvement of our economy, and the enhancement of the nation's image. With a renewed sense of urgency for their message, Christensen and Eyring say, we could see how the same online learning technologies that can benefit traditional institutions can also disrupt them. So Christensen and Eyring say, our message offered to you with cautious optimism. Hence, it's the right point of the time where we have to think of innovation universities, revolution in university education. Let's form the consortium of the creamy layer. Encourage research and frequent seminars with paper reading sessions. Papers must be genuine and highly original. Interaction between the talented researchers and the talented among those who have had online instruction. The most successful researchers should be identified. Healthy competition should be created among those researchers who had traditional education and those who have had online education. The Harvard model should be followed. Universities will be benefited much by adopting the Harvard model. Formation of a national consortium of researchers. If you examine a single consortium at state level, it will consist of students of technology and medicine and agriculture with genuine research orientation and talented students at school and college level. Those students who have interacted with seminars must be identified by the industry expert and professors who will observe their performance and guide them in the line of their choice. This will lead to the teamwork. Formation of, again, this is the reason why we emphasize the complementary nature of traditional universities and the products of online education will create disruption. In fact, at Harvard and Bayou Idaho, those who receive online instruction are allowed to interact with those who receive traditional instruction. So we can't speak of disruption as both any progress through combined effort. Case of disruptive innovation. A notable example of Granville T. Woods. Let me examine this case. This is a clear case of disruptive innovation. T. Wood was a school dropout at the age of 10. When he developed his knowledge as an outsider, he patented 35 electrical and mechanical inventions. After leaving school, he learned his skill and the trades of mechanic while serving an apprenticeship. He went to night school and took private lessons. As he knew the value of learning and education that a school and a university can offer, he realized that this institution could allow him to exercise his creativity. At the early stage, he worked as a fireman. This helped him to become an engineer. During spare time, he studied electronics. Then he worked in a rolling mill. From this, he moved on to steamer. Eventually, he became the chief engineer of the ship. He received education from Eastern College and studied mechanical engineering. It's not easy to give a full account of all his inventions within a given time. Today, trains do not collide because of his inventions. As I told you, earlier he patented 35 electrical and mechanical inventions. All his inventions, the product of a mind of a school dropout? The answer is no. T. Woods knows the value of traditional education. At this point, let us talk about this innovation. As if we can also search for level and highly talented boys and girls at the school level and undergraduate level, they can be allowed to work together at graduate level and research level. That is what Christensen and Eyring advocate. That is what happens in Harvard and Idaho. It is quite true that there is a possibility of someone hailing from a humble background and receiving online education suddenly revealing inventive powers. It must be borne in mind that the person who patented more than 35 electrical mechanical inventions was not really a dropout. On the contrary, Woods, who patented so many inventions, was a man who gained experience from workshops, ship and other establishments. He was actually an engineer who also received instruction from a traditional university. This justifies practice followed by Harvard and Idaho. It is in the context that I have placed before you my strategy of forming consortia. Merits of innovative universities. Universities need to innovate, which implies that they need to rethink their roles and positions. The traditional universities, following the Harvard and Idaho model, must provide and encourage online learning to talent learners at school at university levels. Both the products of the traditional learning and the products of online learning must be given the opportunity to interact during the learning period. Model components to fuel research and innovation. Meta University has been signed 2 days before, and Meta University established a Meta University and a countrywide network for higher education. This will allow students with the flexibility to design their own curriculum and combine subjects of their own choice. Universities like West Bengal, Jadavpur University, Calcutta University, and the Indian Institute of Management, Calcutta, are reported to be testing the feasibility of setting up Meta Universities, a concept as proposed by the Honorable Prime Minister. Meta Universities also allow a student to use facilities like faculty, library, and laboratory from multiple institutes for the pursuit of one degree. Accreditation. Accreditation is important to improve the quality of education, but it should be based on the high quality of the output of the institution and not merely on the infrastructures. Faculty and students exchange, we bring about a change in mindset of the stakeholders by understanding cross-cultural and interdisciplinary approaches. Some more key factors are there. And large industries have to come forward to start innovative universities for the benefit of society and the nation. This has already begun to happen in India. Need for tapping the rural untapped potential. A large number of population is living in rural areas, and hence most of them are missing quality higher education. So it is duty of the traditional university to provide the rural students opportunity to have access to higher learning. But at the same time, we have to admit the fact that if these underprivileged rural youth are given a chance, it will really provide the talented students with a research orientation opportunity to pursue higher learning and research. In order to accomplish this task, it is essential to network the quality higher education institution with the institution in the rural areas. So with these objectives in mind, PSNA College of Engineering and Technology, established 28 years ago, is working to achieve this target. Rural higher education challenges encountered while making an effort to encourage creativity and research. Big industries and governments have to come forward to help the first great colleges to introduce the revolutionary methods encouraged by Harvard and Idaho. To help young minds with the competitive inclination to meet the challenges of the external forces, particularly liberalization and globalization, by providing excellent infrastructure, ICT connectivity, large number of highly qualified faculty members with doctoral qualifications, it's a great aim to make the PSN a great institution by encouraging creativity and research. Thank you.